Hello everyone and welcome or welcome back. My name is Shaunneka and today I'll be guiding you through a yin yoga sequence for the superficial back line. So this includes everything below the feet, back of the body, all the way up to the neck and into the brows. The postures that we will be doing are fairly simple, nothing too strenuous, no long holds, nothing too complicated. You may or may not decide to use your blocks for dangling postures, so have them handy, but you will need them for the end of practice. If you are suffering from maybe headaches or just feeling a lot of heaviness and tension in the shoulders and the neck area, you are going to love the final pose in today's practice. I'm also wearing a sweater, some comfy socks. You know, I don't really want to turn my heat on full blast just yet, so I'm trying to keep myself cozy and warm. That's it. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you on the mat. So for today, we're going to start in a standing position. We'll take a dangling to squat and then make our way back down onto the mat. So you may or may not decide to use two blocks in your dangling pose. So just have them handy in case you do decide to use them. So from here, we're just going to find our feet about hips width distance apart. Keeping a nice generous bend in the knees, and then just notice where you're bearing your weight. Try to find a nice equal distribution of the weight in the feet, and then just allow the arms to hang, trying not to pull the arms up into the socket. Just let them go and let the head go. And if you do have the blocks, you can always rest your forearms on the block. Nod your head yes, no. Gently sway side to side. Really thinking about nice deep breaths into the back of the rib cage. If you can imagine that there's a little balloon between each vertebra of the spine, and on every inhale, the balloon expands. And gently deflates on the exhale. Take our last two breaths here. Nice big inhale, fill up. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And let it go. Gently from here lifting the gaze, and we're just going to shimmy from side to side as you turn your toes out to the top two corners of your mat. We'll make our way down into a squat. And it's okay if you can't bring your heels to the mat right away. That's something that I'm still working on. I'm just gonna move from side to side. And eventually finding some stillness. I like to hold on to the corners of my mat. Really trying to feel yourself sink. So notice anywhere that you're holding tension or trying to hold yourself up, and just sort of relax, melt, let go. Last few breaths here. Last two breaths, a nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And let it go. Gently from here, coming onto all fours, so bringing the knees to the mat. Just find a tabletop. Maybe move your hips from side to side. Maybe take a few cat-cow. And gently from here, we'll make our way into a toe squat. So tucking the toes under, and then bearing your weight back onto your heels. And then just dragging your pinky toes forward. Option to place a block underneath your bum. if it's too much pressure with your bum resting on your heels, resting your bum on the block just alleviates some of the pressure. Feeling free to make a few neck rotations. Taking a few shoulder shrugs up towards the ears and down the back. And switching directions. Last few breaths here. Last 2 breaths, nice big inhale, fill up. And sigh it out. Another one, and maybe for this one you push your hands down into your thighs, inhale. And let it go. Gently rock forward, untuck the toes, rotate through the ankles, wiggle the toes, tap the toes on top of the mat. Extending one leg back and the other. And from here, instead of coming into a seated hero's pose, what we're going to do is we're going to cross the right ankle over the arch of the left foot. And then we're going to sit back onto the ankles. So it should feel kind of like a massage for that arch. Just going to hold it here for about 3 breaths. And we'll slowly come to the other side. So rocking back, find that tabletop. Switch the crossing of the ankles. So this time your left ankle is pressing into the arch of the right foot. And then sit back. And I'm wearing socks and I'm feeling quite a bit of pressure. So If you have maybe bonier feet, this might not feel so good, or maybe it might feel great, but it's like a nice massage. 3 breaths here. And let's gently rock back forward, find that tabletop. And this time, finding that regular seated pose, so pressing your toenails into the floor, and then bearing your weight back onto your heels once again. So this time we're stretching just below the knee, top of the shin, top of the foot. You can stay here, you might already be feeling a nice stretch, or you can gently lift your knees towards your chest for a count of 3, 2, inhale here, and exhale, gently lower the knees, rock forward, and untuck. So hopefully the legs and the feet are feeling nice and open. From here, finding a twist. So bringing the knees nice and wide, sending your hips back towards your heels, walking your right hand forward, taking the left arm, palm faces up, and sweeping it underneath the right arm. Drawing the left shoulder down and away from the ear as you bring your left temple to the floor. Bringing your right arm up and over and bringing it onto your low back. You can grab the crease of your left hip. Last few breaths on this side. Let's take our last 2 breaths, and here you're going to take your right hand and interlace it with your left hand, and then you're going to push forward. So push down and forward. So you're rolling a little bit more onto your left shoulder. Inhale here. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently release. Come back up onto your palms, and we'll do this on the other side. So extending the left arm forward. Reach your right arm underneath. Palm faces up. Draw that shoulder down and away from the ear as you bring your right temple to the floor. And you can take that left arm up and over onto the low back. last few breaths here. Take our last 2 breaths. You can take that left arm and interlace your left hand with your right hand, push down and forward, rolling a little bit more onto that right shoulder. Inhaling here. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And let it go. Gently release, push back up onto your palms. And making our way onto our backs. But before we do, I'm just going to demonstrate how we'll place the blocks. So you're going to place the first block on its lowest height, and the second block you're going to place on an angle. Now I'm using a cork block. It might be too much pressure. If you have a foam block, that might be better. You're going to place the base of your neck at the edge of the block. So coming to lay all the way down. Oh. You're just letting the weight of the head rest into the block. You can stay here. Maybe it feels nice to gently rock from side to side. Yes and no. It's also really a nice thing to do if you have a headache. Just a few more breaths here. So it's up to you. You can stay here with your head on the block or blocks. I'm going to remove mine. And bringing my head all the way down onto the mat. Finding your resting pose. Slowly beginning to deepen the breath. Wiggling the fingers and the toes. Rotating the ankles, the wrists. Maybe taking a nice long body stretch. Reach, 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 reach. And on the exhale, let it go. Bending the knees, rolling over onto your side. Just cradle the head and the upper arm here. And very gently pushing yourself all the way up to a seat. With your eyes closed and your hands at heart center, just humbly bow your chin in towards your chest. I hope you enjoyed this yin yoga practice for the back line. I hope your back side of the body is feeling nice and open, nice and tingly. If you did enjoy it, leave a comment. Let me know how you got on during the practice. Remembering to share it with friends and family. It really does. It does mean a lot and it does go a long way. And I will see you back here again soon for another practice.